6 easy conversation starters that will spark her interest. How to approach women with the right openers. Have you ever seen a stunning girl across the bar from you and really wanted to approach her? And then, even though you really wanted to walk over to her and introduce yourself, you found every conceivable excuse why not to go for it. Most guys crave certainty and don't understand that approaching women is a skill that can be polished over time. You cannot count on every woman liking you, but you can count on a consistent process that enables you to fine-tune your ability to connect better with women. Men, by their very nature, are very results-oriented. Nevertheless, approaching women is a process, and you should know how to enjoy the moment. A woman can intuitively feel your energy, so showing her that you can enjoy her company will draw her to you. Unless you put yourself in the right mental state, even the best conversation starter will not help you spark her interest. Approaching women consistently will toughen your skin against rejection or pushback. It will also allow you to build some momentum and self-confidence. If you catch your lower self trying to talk you out of approaching a woman you desire, use Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. The moment an attractive woman catches your eye, you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then nudge yourself to go speak to her. That being said, certain conversation openers increase the chances of getting things off to a good start and sparking her interest. You have to see every approach as a win, and even more importantly, refrain from self-judgment. In this video, we will show you 7 easy conversation starters that will help you better approach and connect with attractive women. The Better Playbook is a dating advice channel for the modern man who wants to date smarter and pursue the women he wants. Please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep you in the loop. Conversation starters fall into direct or indirect ones. Direct ones directly convey your interest, while indirect ones allow you to test the waters by initiating a conversation with her. There are pros and cons to each that we will discuss as the video progresses, so stay tuned in until the very end. The first conversation starter to hook her attention is a direct, short introduction followed by clearly expressing interest. Hi, say your name. Then follow it up with a compliment that directly conveys that you find her attractive. Going direct means choosing words and conveying a vibe that shows clear romantic interest from the get-go. An example might be, Hi, I'm Mike. I saw you and had to meet you. Sometimes this could even just be expressed in your tonality. Damn, who are you? I couldn't help noticing how beautiful you look in that dress. Or something along the lines of, wow, you are gorgeous. Who are you? Or, I couldn't help notice your smile, and something about it felt uplifting. Or even a short and sweet, you're sexy. The upside with a direct opener is that there is no chance of being friend-zoned. You clearly set the tone that this is a man-to-woman conversation. Whether or not she is attracted to you, she will know exactly why you are talking to her. Many women appreciate the boldness of the direct approach, and it can ignite instant interest. It also displays that you have the confidence to go after what you want. The downside is that it is a polarizing technique, so many women will reject you hard and cold right away. She will scan you up and down pretty quickly and decide whether or not she finds you attractive. You have less time to charm her with your personality or find common ground with her. If you have not risen above taking rejection personally, you might not be ready for this approach yet and want to incorporate it later. If you do decide to go direct, remember to inject a confident yet playful vibe. That means avoiding direct references about her body or coming off too vulgar and domineering. You're sexy is as direct as you want to be. It helps to take a deep breath and get yourself into a relaxed, I got this mode. This will help you tone down your excitement, avoid being overeager, and help you come across as more confident. Avoid staring at her most attractive features, and even imagine yourself speaking to a less pretty girl. A second conversation starter is soft, direct, and relates to something she wears. I like this scarf you're wearing, for example. Then ask a question about it, or ask a question about her. It indicates interest with some reservations. Even though you are clearly complimenting her about the way she looks, it's a little less clear-cut than telling her a different variation of "you're hot." Women love to hear a compliment, and if it's done tastefully, you will lower her guard instantly and make her more receptive to start a conversation with you. Another example might be, "I dig your jacket. How's your night going?" Or, "I love those jeans. Where did you get them?" Or even a slightly more playful, "I love your outfit. You look like you came straight out of the showroom." And then inject a smile. The third conversation starter is indirect and relates to the environment. The hardest part about a conversation is getting it going. Sometimes, simply using the environment around you for cues of what to ask can work wonders. Going indirect means that you don't explicitly state romantic interest up front. It is rather designed to generate small talk and make her feel more at ease with you. You might ask her where the bar is, where she ordered food from there before, or what drinks she recommends. So this could sound like, "Hey, you seem like you can appreciate a good drink. I'm kinda new to this place, so I was wondering if there's something you think I should try." Or even better, if she is holding a drink or plate of food, you could approach her and say, "That looks really good. What is that?" Or "Where did you get that from?" The key is to not get hung up on the question. After you have made your observation, you want to relate it to an experience that you have had. For example, perhaps your line was, "Wow, that drink looks delicious. What is it?" To which she responded, "Yeah, it tastes amazing. It's one of their signature cocktails." Then you continue by saying, "The way it looks reminds me of the drinks at this really trendy bar where I live. I really enjoy those drinks." By sharing tidbits of information about yourself and relating them to your conversation, you increase the chances of continuing the conversation and building some momentum. This sharing shows her more about you and avoids an interrogation-style approach. The fourth conversation starter is indirect and more subtle than the others, as it requires you to listen to a conversation she is having, referencing something she said and asking either a relevant question or making a pertinent statement. Perhaps she and her friends talk about how much they loved watching a particular movie. You find a way to subtly and smoothly join the conversation by saying, "Ah, nice. I've heard good things about that movie. Was it as good as they say?" Or perhaps she mentions that she just learned how to surf, and you ask her about it, or even give her a suggestion of how to understand it better. While when and how you enter the conversation matters, you should not overthink it and trust your gut. Just like the other openers, you will get better at it over time. The trickiest part about this approach is that it requires both the proper positioning and the right timing. It could work well while both of you are waiting in line to get drinks, for example, or if you're sitting at a table or a chair close to hers. The first step is to listen attentively without making it seem like you are. As soon as topics of conversation that interest you come up, find a way to either ask or say something relevant. This helps you become part of the dialogue and subtly and smoothly allows you to join in the conversation. By relating to something you heard her say, you will find ways to find common ground with her. This in turn will make her feel more comfortable with you. While you might want to show off your wits by cracking a joke, it's typically better to inject some humor after the conversation has already been initiated and you have her attention. The sixth conversation starter is indirect and works well if you are invited to an event that is hosted by someone. So, how do you know the host? If you were invited somewhere by the host, other women there probably were as well. So there's a good chance she either directly or indirectly knows the person throwing the event. So by asking her, "So how do you know the host?" or "Is this your first time at the host's event?" can make an effortless conversation starter. You already have a common ground, so use it to your advantage. It'll be even easier than doing it in a public place. The advantage of going the indirect route is that it opens the door to many more conversations, since you are less likely to get rejected right away. This helps have more interactions, gain more experience, and start feeling more at ease talking to women. Going indirect, however, means starting in a friendlier, less assertive manner. Most men often get stuck in that mode, don't generate enough tension, and thus fail to create a romantic spark. Even if you take the indirect approach, you will have to transition to direct man-to-woman talk and show your interest. Going indirect is more subtle, so you have to learn to become skillful at progressing the conversation. The goal is to not just be slick at conversation openers, but also how to communicate your interest and attain the outcome you are after. Combining some push and pull to generate some tension is always helpful. So even if you start or lead with compliments, you start to gradually work in some playful teasing or banter. This will introduce some polarity and thus more likely to spark her interest. For example, "Wow, you have an awesome laugh. I wonder how you've used that smile to help yourself get out of trouble." Or, "I really dig your jacket. I'd be curious to see if the woman wearing it is quite as interesting." The key is for the tease to be slightly out of context and spark something in her. After every approach, whether it lasted 3 seconds or 30 seconds, appreciate at least one good thing about it. An unexpected reaction you got out of her, a joke you made, or a lesson you learned. Even if she totally blows you off, see something funny in it. When you approach enough, you condition yourself to attach a reward to the upside of approaching rather than the downside of her rejecting you. Approaching success is mainly about managing your emotions. What you focus on, you will feel, and that is bound to impact how much confidence and enthusiasm you bring to your interactions. Good tonality is essential. You want to project confidence and charisma. Lastly, remember to keep it simple and stay out of your own head. A failed approach is better than no approach. Trust your ability to intuitively fine-tune your approach and conversation starters with practice. We hope you've enjoyed this video and get a sense of just how much work we put into it. The Better Playbook is a dating advice channel for the modern man who wants to date smarter and pursue the women he wants. Please go ahead and smash that like button to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Which one of the 6 conversation starters will you use next time you go out? Are there any other questions or conversation openers that have worked well for you? Please share it with us in the comments below.